55. We can repeat together. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas. Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas. Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vasya.
Bhagavate Krishna Lila Vanila Veda Vyas.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Chaitanya Lila Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa.
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
in Srimad Bhagavatam.
in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Krishna Lila,
Krishna Lila,
the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
Vanila,
Vanilla
described.
described
Veda Vyasa.
Veda Vyasa.
Vaipayana Vyasadev.
Vaipayana Vyasadeva.
Chaitanya Lilate.
Chaitanya Lilate.
In the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
In the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
Vyasa.
Vyasa.
Veda Vyasa.
Veda Vyas.
Vrindavana Das.
Vrindavan Das.
Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Srila Vyasadev described the pastimes of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vyasa of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Vrindavana Das. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was an incarnation of Vedavyas and also a friendly cowherd boy named Kusumapida in Krishna Lila. In other words, the author of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the son of Srivas Thakur's niece, Nayani, was a combined incarnation of Vedavyas and the cowherd boy, Kusumapida. There is a descriptive statement by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, giving the biographical details of the life of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sattvam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripal Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, first and foremost, before starting to speak any words on Chaitanya Charitamrita, I do sincerely ask your blessings to be able to give palatable words on the Chaitanya Charitamrita for our own purification and progress in the devotional service, to dedicate more our lives to the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. And especially today, because I wasn't expecting to give the class. Baba Sindhu Prabhu fortunately could not come. But somehow or other, I was put in this situation. And so let's see what is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifesting through this moment. Funny enough, just before coming, I was hearing a little short and of Keshava Swami. And Keshava Swami in this short was saying, you know, sometimes we're in desperate situations and we feel it's unfair, or it's like it should not happen, but actually this is also an opportunity for Krishna to manifest more and more in our lives. So we could see that behind desperate situations, when we really feel some despair, I cannot say it's a full despair here, but still there is a bit of what should I do, you know, there is a discomfort, I would say. You are not in your comfort zone. But these moments are also a way for us to try to hope and to be more prayerful in our attempts to connect with Krishna. And he was saying that Krishna is not forcing himself in our lives. Krishna will come if we really want him to come. This is Krishna. And then he said, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a bit different. Even you don't want, he will come. He will crack the door. So even if you don't want, he will crack the door. But Krishna has such a character, personality that only when you really want him to come, when you invite him, you know, by your prayers, by your devotion, by your attitude, then he will accept to enter your life. So since we don't have this great despair, we don't experiment this deep separation from Krishna, he will not truly come, because according to the proportion of our surrender, then he will reciprocate. So if we're not fully surrendered, which is understandable given our stage, then Krishna will not also fully be manifested in our own life, or at least will not be able to see him. Fortunately enough, we have the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who already cracked the door and came in our life and give us this wonderful opportunity to serve this mission, to associate with his pure devotees. And by the big fortune of Srila Prabhupada, we are assembled here trying to be more and more serious in our devotional life. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is such an important book, Hare Krishna, that we can always be grateful to be able to have the darshan of the Lord through the pages of the Chaitanya Charitamrita or the Srimad Bhagavatam. And here there is a mention of Srila Vyasadeva. So as you know, Srila Vyasadeva compiled many Vedic literatures, and at the end of this compilation, he was a bit bewildered because he felt unsatisfied, and so under the guidance of his spiritual master, he decided to compile the Srimad Bhagavatam to depict the glories of the Lord, which is the ultimate shelter for everyone. We may learn from the Vedas different ways to enjoy more in this material world, but ultimately it will never be enough. This enjoyment in the material world is limited, it doesn't last very long, and it's not fulfilling our heart enough. And what is the only thing missing? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says the only thing that is lacking in this world is Krishna consciousness. So, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to connect and to hear the glories of the Lord and to be able to repeat them to others. You know, all this December marathon, we were trying to reach out people in the streets or our contacts to, you know, spread a little more the glories of the Lord. Of course, it's very austere, especially in December, because it's winter. But Krishna also, if we want Krishna to manifest in our lives, we have to try to serve Him. And the best way to serve Him is to help Him to bring back conditioned souls at home, next to Him. Shri Shri Radha Parishishwar ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Shri Shri Nitai Sachisuta ki Jai. And as Srila Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Srimad Bhagavatam, depicting the pastimes of Sri Krishna in the 10th canto, then the Vyasa, as it is mentioned in the verse, of the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Vrindavan Das Thakur. So very special personality. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, so he was the son of the niece of Srivas Thakur, Narayani. And it is said in the purport that he is a combined incarnation of Vedavyas. So that's why he was empowered to compile this Chaitanya Bhagavat, which was first mentioned as Chaitanya Mangala, and later on, when they discovered that there was the first Chaitanya Mangala written by Lochan Das Thakur, then it was renamed Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And yeah, he also, what is his name? There is another book depicting the glories of Lord Nityananda, wrote by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who was his latest follower. And what we can how we can differentiate between Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. The Chaitanya Bhagavat is focusing mainly on the first part of the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, or even there is about Nityananda Prabhu. And the Chaitanya Charitamrita is focusing on the remaining part of life. So this Adi-Lila and Adi-Lila, depicting the adult age of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his later pastimes in Jagannath Puri. So it is said that between Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, just to understand for us the importance of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that if there was one book, if we have no choice but to keep one book with us, would be the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because it contains the essence of the two other scriptures, meaning Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So important is such a literature like Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it is quite philosophical at the beginning, isn't it? Very difficult, all these energies of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First we offer the obeisances to the spiritual master. It's already very, very deep. Guru Tattva is such a difficult topic. And after it's depicting about mainly the Panchatattva, so that we understand what's the position of Lord Chaitanya, what's the position of Nityananda Prabhu, and what about Advaita, Acharya, and Gadadhar and Srivas. So these personalities are very special, and they came, this Panchatattva came to give us opportunity to crack the treasure house of the holy name and to ourselves experiment this love of Godhead. Of course, due to our conditioned nature, we cannot directly experiment this love of Godhead through the chanting of the holy name. However, the potential is there. Now, it is our duty to make it happen that with the blessings of the Guru Parampara, by following their instructions, by dedicating our life, by dedicating our body, words, mind to their instructions, then we can purify ourselves, and soon, because time is relative, no? What is this 100 years that we are living in Kali Yuga compared to the eternity of time? It's just a drop, a tiny drop. And what if we could make this life already a success, by in this life really trying our best to follow their instructions and connect with the holy name, because the potential to taste this spiritual happiness is there through the chanting of the holy name. And different acharyas and our contemporary ISKCON leaders or spiritual masters, they are trying so much to help us connect with the holy name, to understand more and more that Krishna is not different from his holy name. When we were in Vrindavan recently, there was with Sachinandan Maharaj, there was this opportunity to have a 64 rounds day in Terakadamba. So Terakadamba is a very sacred place. It's considered the root of our, of our tradition, let's say, where Srila Rupa Goswami compiled different important scriptures. And in this place, there are some trees, like this, who cover they create a kind of roof, these trees, and you just come under these trees, and we were chanting like this all day long in the association with Sachinanda Maharaj, Burijan Prabhu, and many others. And the energy was so potent. The connection with the holy name was quite easier than usual, because we're all together, because we were reuniting for this yagya of chanting the holy name in the form of japa meditation, and of course at some point also to wake up, to tune in more and more. Some kirtan was there, and you can feel that in the association. This is the key, the association with such dedicated devotees who, from time to time within the year, they just disconnect from their duties, be they material or spiritual, but for personalities like Sachinanda Maharaj, they are fully engaged in spiritual activities, but still, even being spiritual master, they say, okay, now it's time for me to retreat and to focus on the holy name, to deepen my relationship with the holy name. And so they spend their whole days chanting, absorbing themselves in the holy name. And this is it. Recently I had this question for Janana Maharaj, but then if there is Chaitanya Loka existing, what are we doing there? And what did he reply? We'll still do the same. The form may be different, but the same is what? To try to please the Lord with our chanting, to serve him through our chanting. We cannot fully relate now, because when we chant, it's more to purify ourselves, it's more to be stronger, to be more stable in our mind, and this and that. But ultimately, this chanting of the holy name is for the pleasure, only for the pleasure of the Lord, if it's chanted in a pure mood. But the essence is this one, to please the Lord. Whatever we are doing in spiritual life, whatever action we try to perform is for, if we want to make it devotional is for his pleasure. So we need to understand what is pleasurable for him. And it's not only an external activity. Okay, I do cooking, I do read the books, I do go out in the street and try to distribute. It's not only that, it's why and how. The why is to please him, so if I'm cooking to please him, I should understand how to cook for him. What is pleasing him? So I have to follow instruction of experienced devotees who know more than I. I should, if I'm in the street trying to share this message, it's not only about giving a book, but it's about inspiring the person to read it. It's about showing good character, even if the person doesn't take the book. The most important in book distribution is to give a good impression. And quite often you could see maybe, I had this experience recently, like someone was not taking the book first. But, because we crack a joke, a few words, we contemplated about the coldness of this winter. Then the person left and it was a casual discussion, but felt like, okay, he's, trying in the cold distribute this knowledge. And afterwards he came back and said, okay, I just want to support you and give, some action like that. And so in that way, he's doing a service for the Lord without understanding that, by this reciprocation, he's engaged in a service. It's too late for him. Lord Chaitanya cracked the door and entered his life. It's just a matter of time now that it will trigger. And again, in the scale of eternity, this life, for 100 years, let's say somehow, maybe 70 now, let's see, is just a tiny drop. So even if he wakes up in 2-3 lifetimes, even more, it's nothing. That's already done. That's why we should be very hopeful and patient and keep enthusiastic, because even if we don't see the fruits already manifesting of our preaching, sometimes we can be very discouraged, like, my book distribution, my kirtans, this seva they were trying to do in the temple, but nothing is moving. We don't see many more people coming. Where are the French people? Where are the ones that I met in the street? And they told me they would come today, but they are not here. Oh, it's been the 10th person who told me this and he's not here, or she is not here. Yeah, never mind. Because we are not working only for this lifetime. We are preparing for the next lifetime. Yeah, we might not be able to see it ourselves. And so what? We are doing it out of duty, out of love also. Out of love for Srila Prabhupada, out of gratitude for him. Why he was translating all night long these books, for us to read them and for us to share them. And the more we read them, the more we are enthusiastic about sharing this message. Because when we hear, from the Shastra, then we observe the world differently, then we can have a different learning experience. We learn from observing with the eyes of the Shastra, then we relate differently to this world, and we can learn from every situation, even desperate situation, as we mentioned earlier. We learn that, there is now a time for us to go further in our life. And because of that, we have a different experience. And this experience then gives us some realization, and this one we have to share it. If we want to keep it, this taste for this experience, then it's time to share it. That's why all of us who are practicing Krishna consciousness, it's not only a responsibility or duty, but it's a need also. If we want to grow in our spiritual life, it's a need to try to share it, this knowledge, this wisdom, this service that we are doing and is inspiring us. It can be, again, through book distribution, through cooking, through deity worship. Pujaris, they are also meant to share this taste for taking care of their lordships You can see how dedicated they are in this temple, trying to make the best turban, the best outfits. In Srila Prabhupada's time, deity worship was very short. It would take sometimes 30 minutes, you know. It was not full dressing, full turbans and so many offerings during the day. No, the focus was on preaching. But now we can see that some devotees are doing more elaborate service. And it's not contradicting with preaching, because when devotees come in the temple, when newcomers come and they see this wonderful darshan, you know, they feel also inspired. Why they're making so much attention to this, to these statues? What is it, statues, or what is it? You know, they are bewildered. My mom recently was bewildered when she was seeing the deities, and she said, "Wow, they are so beautiful." There was this new red and golden outfit for Christmas. She said, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. And how long does it take, all of this?" And she was inquiring. Not that she wants to become pujari, but she was curious to understand how much time they spend to dress the lordships. And then, of course, the question is coming, but why? And then she understood after leaving that, in this temple, everyone is engaged in their own capacities to give Krishna to others. And so, by this dedication, it gives impression to us. We might not notice it, but every morning having the darshan gives an impression in our consciousness, you know, and it's kind of evacuate the other impressions, you know, materialistic impressions due to this life or past lives. And the purification is going on just by being present, by staying in the boat that Srila Prabhupada gave us, this wonderful Krishna consciousness movement. And so then, let's continue about the Pujari department. It's like they have this taste. You can see how they're inspired. Then you feel they are like parents. If you see Ananda Swarupa or Paramakaruna Prabhu, like you can see now they are like parents for the deities. Oh, did they have something to eat? Okay, I will wake them up. There is no one to wake up. Okay, I will do every day if needed. You know, they are ready to sacrifice their own health for the sake of taking care of the deities. Why? Because they're obliged to? Maybe. Maybe not. Because they have love, no? Because they have a reciprocation with their deities. They feel their presence. And it's too late again. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered alive, conquered their hearts, Radha Parishishvara as well, by the blessing of Srila Prabhupada, who personally installed them 50 years ago. And what to say of Jagannath Baladev Supada, so merciful, the Patita Pavan, who is saving the most fallen ones. And so if you have any chance, take opportunity to associate with those who are inspired in their service, and you will get a taste. It's like this iron and fire. If you put iron next to fire, whatever thick this iron is, soon, by the association with fire, it will become fire quality also. So if we feel inspired or we feel in capacity to preach, let's associate with preachers who are inspiring us, who are inspiring others, if we want to be successful. If we feel inspired by deity worship, let's go to those who are inspired in their services and try to get taste. And I can see in this temple that Ananda Swarupa Mataji is always engaging so nicely the devotees. And I feel there are more and more devotees in the Pujari section. All the time there are new people in the Pujari rooms trying to take care of the jewels, tidying the room, and the clothes of their lordships, sewing. I see with Vrajeshwari Mataji, who is sometimes doing it with her own hands, the full set of clothes. Like that. So many devotees coming, and this is it. This is their duty also to share. So they might not be in the streets, but they are also sharing Krishna consciousness. When Rama-Lila is here engaging people in the kitchen, cooking for the devotees, cooking for their lordships. She's also giving so much taste. And then she also goes in book distribution. And any assistant who comes with her has then the virus and cannot stop book distribution even after the marathon. This is it. Devotees who are really dedicated in their services, because they are sharing, they give opportunity to others to serve their lordships. And this is the preaching, actually. Not only being in the street or doing kirtan in big yoga studio with so many people. Yeah, this is of course obvious preaching and it's so important. But we are all, being in ISKCON, serving Srila Prabhupada's mission here, we are all somehow or other in a position to preach to others. So let's take the opportunity for our own sake also, because we can grow like this. But most importantly, we can engage others. And let's remember that to some extent we can all be leaders for others. Not for everyone, not for the whole France, not for all Paris, not for Sarcelles, but at least for one or two people who consider us in our family, in our friends, in our devotee circles. And let's try to inspire them more. Because real leader, as we discussed recently, real leader is the ones who want you to be better than him. This is real leadership. And definitely by trying to sacrifice our own comfort, sadhana sometimes for the sake of others, we are making the most valuable sacrifice for the Lord, giving a chance to others to put themselves on the path of Krishna consciousness. It doesn't mean, saying that, doesn't mean that we should neglect our own sadhana, our own practices, our own devotional service. We should also be strong, otherwise what can we give if we are not strong enough? If we are not strong in our sadhana, in our chanting, in our, if we don't know many recipes, we don't know how to cook, how can we inspire someone to cook? We make random recipes, devotees will be, what's that, what to say about the lordships. If we are doing kirtans and we are not trained to sing nicely, how can we inspire others? It's very important, the skills in our services to inspire people who don't know anything. We are not to the level of Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, unfortunately. But yeah, skills are very important to reach out to newcomers. Then for devotees, for pure devotees like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it's another platform. And at the end of his pastimes on this in this world, there was one devotee who started. He wanted a devotee to sing. This, thank you. Shirupa Manjari Pada Bhajan. And Bhaktisiddhanta wanted a specific devotee to sing. And his followers thought, okay, he started to sing, but now let's propose a melodious kirtaniya to sing this bhajan, because he can sing this melodious bhajan. But immediately after, when this melodious kirtaniya started to sing, Bhaktisiddhanta stopped and said, no, I'm not interested by these melodious kirtans. He was interested by devotion, because he could understand, he could feel this devotion behind the melody, which might not be able to do so. So, because we are not at this level for the time being, we have to really be serious by developing nice skills to reach out. And people in the street are also not on this level. So let's understand and consider this in our preaching. We should have nice skills to preach. And so if you don't have them, then work to get them. And meanwhile, encourage, assist others who have these skills, to preach. You might not know how to cook, then assist in the cooking. You might not know how to distribute books, then assist in book distribution, do logistics, do bring books, do be around someone who knows and tries to learn from him or her. you don't know how to perform kirtan, then assist the presence, just hear the holy name, invite people in coming to the kirtan, like that. And then soon it will come. Okay, this was what came to me by reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita today by association and your kind benedictions. You may have some corrections, questions, comments, additional information to give. Please do so, it's your time.
Actually, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for nice discussion. In this in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is stated that how Narayani she got the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Narayani Mahaprabhu Uttishta Bhajan Taragarbu Janmilan Dasa Vrindavan. So one day Sri Thakur was doing the worship of the Shanakram Shila, Narsingh Shila, because of the problem of Chatkaji and other Brahmanas. They are creating problem in Sankirtan. So Sri Thakur became really disturbed by this, and he closed the door and he started to worship Narsingh Shila. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there by running, and he was knocking the door. Smash! Smash! What are you doing? Open the door! And Sri Chaitanya opened the door, and he said, what are you doing? He said, my lord, I am worshipping Nrsimha. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, see me, I am Nrsimha. And then he manifested his Nrsimha roop in front of him. And he told, don't worry, if anyone want to stop Sankirtan, I will kill them. I will cut their head from cut their throat from their body. And to make this assured, and he told, okay, now you call your niece Narayani. I will show you my power. And then he called Narayani, and Narayani was very little child, 4 years old. And and then Mahaprabhu gave her some prasad from his plate, and he told Narayani, Krishna Balakam. Now Narayani, you start crying by chanting the name of Krishna. And then in front of everyone, Narayani was rolling on the ground and chanting Hare Krishna, loudly in ecstasy. And everyone became so enthusiastic, and they got so pacified in their heart that okay, now nothing to worry at all. Our Lord is with us. So in the home of this Narayani, Vrindavan Das Thakur was born actually. And in the Chaitanya Mangal, in the very beginning, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was saying that many pastimes are written in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, and I don't want to mention them, otherwise the book will be very big. And Vrindavan Das Thakur was written it in so nice way that Manushya Rachite Nare Uchi Grantha Dhanna Vrindavan Das Mukhe Bhakta Shri Chaitanya. That many, no one ordinary person can written this. Only it's possible by Vrindavan Das Thakur, because by his mouth Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually told this and wrote this. So this is so nice pastimes of Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Thank you for reminding us about this wonderful pastimes. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.